Let's enter the final four. Like much of the stuff I make, this series has so many entries now. There's a major back catalogue that's built up. So once we're done here, please feel free to go back and check them out. I'll definitely have more to say about them than I do today's subjects. Number 4 is a character called Love Machine, from the film Summer Wars. Now you weren't expected to guess Love Machine, it's a very specific silhouette of a very specific character from a very specific movie. But not just any movie. Love Machine is the antagonist of my favourite film of... well, let's have a look. Yeah, almost 2,000 titles. That's a lot of movies. So what set Summer Wars above the rest? I honestly don't know, to tell you the truth. Ever since I saw it in 2012? I've gone back to it as comfort food. This is not going to be the first or the last time I talk about Summer Wars, but regardless, did anybody guess this? We had one vote for Kick-Ass and another for the guy who eats the Smurfs, and yeah, no dice. Truth be told, I've surprised even myself with this one. You see, Love Machine is a weird pick, because he doesn't actually speak. In fact, Love Machine isn't even a person. Sometimes he looks like this, and sometimes he looks like this. What can I say? Digivolution, baby. The Virtual World of Oz is an online server that handles everything from bank management to social media to sports. It is what connects the entire infrastructure of Japan, and to navigate it, you need an online Avi. A profile picture, a little man. One day, 17-year-old math student Kenji Koso wakes up to find his avatar has been stolen and is wreaking havoc on the internet in his name. That's right, my favourite character in cinema, I guess, is one half cyber terrorist and one half Digimon. Which reminds me, there's been a real lack of villains in this list. Strange, as they're usually my go-to characters. I love the panto villains. I love the shit talkers. But since Love Machine is a minimalist virus of few words, let's look instead to Wabisuke Janucci. The outcast uncle of a giant Japanese family. When the Janucci clan gets together for a family gathering, we hear about a character called Wabisuke, a computer expert who stole the family fortune and ran off to America. As the inventor of Love Machine, our digital bad boy is very much his baby, but more crucially, also his demons. As it becomes very apparent that Wabisuke has modelled the virus on himself, its love of games, its disdain of family and the need to destabilise communities, even with a fondness for the Janucci family game that eventually is its undoing. And whilst this may not be said outright, watch the movie with an attentive eye and it's hard not to see them as two parts of the same character. And once bought by the American government and let loose on the internet instantly, Love Machine doesn't just become a crazy Mesmetopian looking anime fight boy, but also the Janucci clan's dirty laundry incarnate. Pure metaphor, baby! Summer Wars is the story of a family cleaning up their own messes. It's also Digimon the movie. Long story short, this is director Mamoru Hosoda revisiting his old work and removing the Digimon element from it entirely. Both movies are cinematic excellence, and I won't hear another fucking word on the matter. But Summer Wars really is the one that finds the heart of the story, rather than just finding an excuse to play Smash Mouth. Both valid options. We find out that Wabisuke is more than just a family outcast, but an illegitimate child taken in by a family that he would later go on to betray. A regular Dio, if you will. Oh ho ho! There is no coincidence that the virus based off of Wabisuke goes to war against this clan. The story of Wabisuke is told mostly through imagery and symbolism, which tells so much more of a story than the lines of exposition ever could. Especially when you include Love Machine in said symbolism. And this really becomes quite impressive when you realise just how little of the movie Wabisuke is actually in. Whilst Love Machine may always be a looming presence, Wabisuke himself gets maybe 6 scenes in the entire movie. His is such a nuanced story with only little snapshots into his life. In 6 scenes we are hyped up about Wabisuke, we meet him in the flesh, establish his relationships and who he actually cares about, confesses to the family why he did what he did, is attacked by family, remembers family, then comes back for family, to pay his final respects to the woman who raised him way too late, eventually even helping them take down his own creation. And that's all we get. It all sounds so functional when I lay it out like that. But don't be fooled, this whole movie is his. And that's not even including this scene, which is the best thing in the film. What are you looking at? Pictures the naked ladies. Ah! Holy shit, that's awful. The story of Love Machine is so minimalist and efficient. Only 6 scenes, and I feel like I have a complete grasp of this character. He's crucial to the thematic core of the piece, and there's not a single scene you could take out. Not even that one. In just 90 minutes, a well-paced movie can do more with that time than a book or a TV show could ever dream of. Ayo, let me fuck with the road signs. Oh, locked out your bank accounts. Hey, you guys need that life support machine? I turned it off, just to be sure. Uh-oh, found the nukes. Ain't I a stinker?
Don't interfere. Don't interfere.
Uh-oh, they're going at it. I would never live it down if I put a fucking Digimon on here, and I never would. Trust me, Love Machine is a step up. There's something quite magical in seeing a story from my childhood, the defining story from my childhood, and having the director revisit it at a later stage of his career. They may share DNA, but I'd say Summer Wars has more in common with Black Mirror. Black Mirror with anime battles. Picture it. As a piece of contemporary sci-fi, I love how this new form of technology forces different generations and sides of the family and branches and different ways of life into action. Tradition versus the modern age. Summer Wars is not remotely subtle about its central idea. And when I think about it, it's very strange that this is my favourite film. I'm definitely not what you would call a traditionalist. And at times, maybe I even feel like I am the black sheep of my own family. So please, feel the need to psychoanalyze me and question why this is the film I gravitate most strongly towards. I love it top to bottom, and in something this airtight, that means I love everything about it, from its great villain to its great moral. All of the right lessons learned from family and traditionalism with none of the baggage. It's idyllic. Which is why my favourite film in existence can get away with framing modernity as the villain. You've got to be ever vigilant to not fall into the trappings of tradition, but Love Machine is such an interesting foil to that idea that I can't help but love it.
Don't interfere.
Batter up! Ah shit, all 3 of them are at it now. Just 6 scenes, and a killer design. Like, man, I have the figure of this, okay? And you know everything you need to know about our villain through Love Machine. It's really quite something. Initially I did think, Sam, are you just picking him for aesthetic reasons? But then I realised, a lot of my favourite characters I just like for aesthetic reasons. Man, Zenyatta almost had a spot on this list. A character with no backstory, even after 4 years. Nothing villains, tertiary characters, background characters. Some of these are my favourite looking characters of all time, who I just think, if you had a little bit more screen time, maybe you could really be something. But Love Machine is testament to the fact that you can do good character work in so few details that none of these guys have any excuse. So, yeah, Summer War's good. Next time, it's a tie. Yep, I just cheated. Absolutely brazen decision. If you think you know who they are, drop a comment down below. It's Villain Month.